Greetings. My name is Non-Dual Victor, and I'm your president. That's right. I'm the president of non-duality. And in this video, I will be reacting to Shane Moss DMT trip. And there are also some things I would like to clear up about DMT trips as well. Mistranslations that people make about DMT trips. People jump to conclusions about DMT trips because it's our lack of understanding nature and existence. So I would like to clear up some mistranslations as we go along. So I'm just going to get right into it. 3, 2, 1.
Into that purple fabric, and then I was in this other dimension. Hi, my name is Shane Moss, and this is the craziest thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life. When I first started smoking DMT, I was going to these different dimensions and seeing these different beings, and I kind of thought it was all in my head. It doesn't look like that when you're in the experience, but it's how I rationalized it to myself afterwards. I would be talking with these beings that were seemingly giving me all of this information that I could never remember. And I was like, well, you need to show me something to prove that you're outside of my head. About the 20th time that I smoked DMT, I was all of a sudden in this 50s kitchen. There was a boy sat down in the kitchen. It was like he was in trouble or something, and his father wanted to tell him something, but he didn't know how. His father came up, and he just went like this. The kitchen just collapsed and deconstructed into a movie set, and it was revealed to the boy that I think was me, that he'd been living on a movie set his entire life. I think his subconscious
just taught him.
And then you could see the entire universe. He's taking all of this in, and then the universe just ripped open, and then there was this purple fabric behind it, and then I got sucked into that purple fabric, and then I was in this other dimension. And I was sitting there working with this guy in this other dimension that I think was me, and we had some sort of job, which is a real bummer. We were trying to figure out how to keep this portal open or this gateway open or something. We got done with work that day, and there was a carnival. And there's a Ferris wheel, and there's some guy playing a piano, and then this dancing purple gypsy woman comes out. And it's like I've known her for lifetimes.
That's how dreams be.
Thousands of lifetimes.
You know somebody for a whole lifetime.
And it's just been a while since I've seen her, and we saw each other.
It's like somebody set your dreams up.
Oh my God, it's so good to see you.
And we caught up for a while, and then when the DMT was wearing off, she told me that everything was just going to be okay, and that all of this just keeps on repeating itself over and over again. So not to worry about it too much. We got sad that we were going to have to split up and I was going away again. And so to cheer me up, she just spun around and exploded into fractals that turned into like bats and different creatures that became everything in the universe. And then it became me, and I was everything, and then it got sucked back out, and it was just her spinning around again. She's like, see ya. And I got out of it, and I was like, okay, well, that was weird. But that's DMT for you. There's always weird stuff like that happening, and you're interacting with these strange beings. The next night, I went and I gave DMT to a friend for his first time. He'd never had DMT, and I didn't want to ruin anything by sharing anything about the experience with him. I wanted to go in there fresh. So I told him, here's this bowl, just smoke it for as long as you can. So he starts smoking this bowl, and he's coughing a lot. I can't tell how many hits he's getting, and I'm encouraging him to keep going, and now he's having like 8, 10 hits. This is more than what I expected him to do. And he sits back and he just goes, I had too much, I had too much, I had too much. So it's a minute and a half in, and he's still going, I've had too much. And I'm thinking, he might have had too much. Then finally, he sits back, this smile comes on his face, and he is just like, oh, they love you here. And I was like, yeah, there's like a real sense of like love or going home or belonging or something. He's like, no, they love you, Shane.
Oh, he's not even the main character in his own trip.
There's this purple woman in here that says that she knows you really well, and she just wants you to know that she
No, not
cares
even
about
in
you.
his
And
own
I was
trip.
like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I'm in this carnival, and there's this Ferris wheel, and this guy playing a piano, and there's this purple dancing gypsy woman that says that she knows you. I didn't talk for about 10 minutes, and then he got out of the experience, and I asked him about it, and he said that these little elf, mechanical elf things scattered, and they were scared. He was scared of them. They were scared of him. When he heard my voice, they all started peeking out, and they're like,
Is that Shane?
and he was like, oh, you guys know Shane? And they were like,
Oh yeah, he comes in here all the time.
and that's when this purple woman came out and said that she had a message for me. I have no explanation for it. I've seen that purple woman at least 5 or 6 times. Since that, we have this strange relationship. She gets jealous of my girlfriend sometimes. And so I think I'm dating a woman in a different dimension, but I don't even ever remember her name. I'm pretty sure we've known each other for thousands of lifetimes. I have no idea what her name is, which I imagine is irritating. And then maybe that's why I'm always in trouble with her.
Tales from the
I'm sorry for him. Buddy wasn't even the main character in his own trip. Now that's tough right there. What can I say about that trip though? I believe it's real. His DMT trip. I believe he's onto something with his DMT trip. He definitely opened a gateway to the infinite. But I think oftentimes people mistranslate. I think people should go into their DMT trips to figure out who they truly are, not to have a mystical experience. We should ask for that when we decide to have a trip. Go with the intention to figure out who you truly are. But other than that, I rock with this video, but I'm sad for Buddy. He wasn't even the main character in his own trip. That's tough right there. Hey. Another thing I would like to say is, I do believe that DMT and LSD can lead to enlightenment if you go into it with the intention of figuring out who you truly are. Go into it with that intention. And you have to completely let go. You can't be scared. When you get on a roller coaster, you can't stop it. You got to keep going. You can't be scared when you go into these trips. You have to completely let go. Only then can realization happen. But other than that, yeah, I don't think it's bad as people make it out to be. I feel like it can be used for enlightenment. It can be used for realization if we do it properly. Not to overdo it 5 times a day. You know, once a month. Go into it with the intention to figure out who you truly are. And you can grow from a DMT trip and an LSD trip. Thank you. It was my pleasure interacting with you all. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Shane Moss' trip